Saturday, the 13th of June 2020, 15:35. That's 3:35 p.m. Well, just after. Oh, what a day. You coming up, Caspi? Come on. Caspi, come on. What a day. All I had to do today was, because I did the floors yesterday, finally, after the rubbish was taken. Mental health condition -3, by the way. It's improved slightly, but I'm still, anxiety level is through the roof still. And today hasn't helped. I got up, because I had to call the pharmacy, because they hadn't delivered my drugs today, or yesterday, like they said they was. Major complaint going in for that. Like I keep saying, people, if you can't do it, I'd rather you say you can't do it. Not, oh, Thursday or Friday. Hello, Caspi. You going to walk across, Daddy? Yes, you are. Yeah, I'll put, no. Oh, sorry. Anyway. Tried the pharmacy 3 or 4 times, and they pick the phone up and hang up. So I thought, call NHS 111. Called them, 40 minutes on the line. Passed from one person to another. They asked, they tried the local pharmacy opposite them, Bono, or Bono, or whatever they call it. And they said, now considering I've just phoned NHS up to say I can't get my medication and it hasn't been delivered, maybe she forgot. They said, yes, they've got your medication, but one, it's not going to be in a dossier box, which doesn't really help. And 2, I'd have to go and pick it up. Well, I wouldn't be ringing if I could go and pick it up. Okay, so then they tried the Royal Voluntary Service, and they contacted them, and they got back to me, and they said, no, they can't help either. So then they said they'll get a GP, a local GP, or a GP to call me. And they hung up. The call ended. Then I started calling all the shops I could in the area next door. And the only one that had anyone available was the local estate agent. But the woman that answered was the only one there. And I wouldn't expect her to leave the premises abandoned. So I couldn't get any help there. Then I had a little think. And this is without breakfast, remember. I've woken up and started this within about 4 minutes. I've literally just started having a coffee. Then, Caspi. I thought about the groups on Facebook, and there's a Hyams Park group. So I posted on that, urgent, I haven't got my meds. It was supposed to have been delivered from World Pharmacy yesterday, and they haven't come, and I can't get out by myself. And the admin picked it up straight away and posted it, and within 2 minutes I had 2 offers of help. One contacted me via DM straight away. In fact, 3 offers of help within 3 minutes. Because as I was posting a thank you to the first 2, a third one replied to it. So, thankfully, nice kind woman picked my pills up, and she's even agreed to knock for me occasionally, just so I can get out the place a bit. Because I've got a body camera, I can always charge that up and use that for the bit coming in. But I can't get to the outdoors unless there's someone there to reassure me when I get there. I can't just go out in case I get attacked or something. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's the life I live. That's the life I've lived for a long time. It's just I've not been able to control it for 3 years now. Before I was managing the situation. I've always been like this. I've hidden it from most people. I even think I hid it from myself. So, the medication came. Then I finished off a little bit of painting in the bedroom to finish the trunking off, so it's all blended in now. Looks lovely. Then I had a delivery from Amazon. Now, I've just finished doing the cleaning by now, It's about 1 o'clock, and I just bleached and then polished all the glossy surfaces in the living room. It needed bleaching because it hadn't been done in a while, so it needed a proper clean so I could polish it properly. And it does look a lot better now. It's clean. So I've bleached and polished, and then I get a ring on the bell. Because I at this point, oh, I can have a shower in a minute. Finally have a shower. No, Amazon delivers 6 bits of litter tray freshener, which is good. Now the cats are happy. And then I get a ring from Iceland. The manager called me because they're running early, so they could deliver in the next half an hour. So I said, that's fine, I'm in all day. Half an hour comes and goes, and I thought, oh, must be time to go and do the shower. So I'm getting the shower ready. And then I get a phone call from the Iceland driver. And this is after about 45 minutes at this time. And he calls me to say, have I got the right number? Are you... And I tell him what number it is, and he agrees he was at the right number. And he says, well, I was ringing about 15-20 minutes ago, and I couldn't get no response. And I said, well, I didn't hear the bell ring. Excuse me. Hay fever again. I didn't hear the bell ring. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And he said, well, I'll try again in about half an hour. And he tried again in half an hour, and he says, I've tried your number again and it's still not ringing. Are you home? And I said, yeah, where are you? And he described where he was, and I looked out my living room window, and there's a gap between the 2 blocks of houses, or 2 blocks of flats in front of me, that leads to the centre of the estate. And I said, are you wearing a green top and dark blue shorts? He said, yeah. I said, I can see you. You see the shed thing? And I described it and I waved to him. And he realised what he'd done. He'd gone to the wrong building. So before he called, I was actually ringing the council to report a fault in my intercom. Not faulty. I didn't think it should be, but I tried it myself and it was dead. So I thought, oh, maybe this is a fault. So he delivered. A lot of the frozen stuff was thawed. Why do delivery drivers do that? They got a big load and they unpack it all first rather than ring to make sure it's the right area. So he unpacked it so it was outside for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then he packed it back in the truck. Then he brought it round, unpacked it and delivered it again. I had to go down and let him in because I don't know, the buzzer that weren't working or something. So some people don't press the buzzer long enough so they press it and think that's it. There should be more instructions on it, really. But hey, that's the council for you. They don't want to listen to me. And yet it's people like me that improve the place. Because of our, autistic people, we see where systems are broken and let people know. I even told people how to fix them. But they don't appreciate people telling them what they're supposed to have known. Anyway, so I've got that. I've just had a shower, finally. Cut my hair. I've had a shave, shower. I feel clean, finally. Pair of jeans needs to go in the bin because there's a hole in the crotch. So that I might save those until I can get out shopping, just for around the house. Because I've got other pairs, but I just, it'd be all right for decorating or something. So now I've had the shower, I've packed all the food away. The ice cream was melted, so I put it on fast freeze to bring it all back up to -18 again. Lots of food, lots of crisps. Not lots of bread. The bread's in the bread bin. I couldn't fit it in the fridge. I normally keep it in the fridge. So I've actually got so much frozen vegetables now that I need to go through my veg, man. I need another freezer. So that's just today. I mean, I can feel my T-zone really dry. It's sticky. So I need to put some cream on my face because I'm not used to being clean. My skin is all powdery. I know it's focusing on that, but I need to find something to focus on. I need to put like something there and focus on it so it's the same distance. Anyway, so what else has happened since the last update? I put all my rubbish out, as I said, to the council on Thursday night for Friday morning. Despite the toothless threats, they removed the rubbish because they have to. Because I've got a piece of paper saying they have to remove the rubbish. So I put the rubbish outside and they removed it about 3 in the afternoon. But they didn't clear the staircase, which is a bit of a, why did they clear the rubbish and not all the other items in the stairwell? So, because it's down to the caretaker now. The caretaker isn't keeping the stairwells clean. And this is the problem I've got with Waltham Forest Council. Instead of instructing all the caretakers across all the estates to keep the stairwells clean, for some reason, and it's probably to do with protecting their staff, they're not instructing, they are either not instructing the caretakers to keep the stairwells clear, not just clean, clear, or they are and it's just being ignored. The trouble is, this is why I keep emailing Martin Eastham directly. Because they keep trying to point me back into this single point of contact, Darren Joseph. Don't want to know. Unless they instruct me that I've been classed as vexatious and explain why, and explain how that is an infringement of my rights protected under the Equalities Act, then I'm totally ignoring Waltham Forest Council. They've got currently 26 days to reply to my... I've gave them 28 days, but they've got 26 days left to reply to my reasonable adjustment request, formal reasonable adjustment request. I can't have it answered by a junior because he didn't answer it correctly, and it needs someone in management to officially answer that question. Otherwise, they might as well give it to the cleaner and tell them, because this is what's going on. You've got a junior member of staff responding to an email I sent to the chief exec. So that junior member of staff is being instructed on what to say. So if someone internally is telling this junior member of staff what to say, what is stopping that person from telling me directly without going through the junior member of staff? One, it's a waste of public money, and two, it's a waste of everyone's time. This could all be resolved if people just spoke to me, not via a third person that is totally unlawful and infringing my human and civil rights, but also because my mental health is being affected by this. And this could have been resolved 14 weeks ago now. So, as I keep saying to the council, the longer it goes on, the more I need explanation before someone resolves this. Why hasn't anyone been involved before? Have they been dead and resurrected? Have they been off sick and only just come back to work? In which case, who wasn't covering their job? Who's been dealing with stuff like that and just not dealing with me? I need explanations. I'm entitled to explanations under the law. The trouble is, councils up and down the land can treat anyone as vexatious and not actually inform you, because all they have to do is put a letter in your file. But I've already emailed on Friday saying no such letter has been received. So that should panic them now, because if their justification for this, when my solicitor contacts them eventually, is that they've notified me saying that I'm vexatious because I keep emailing lots and lots of people, because I know what their argument will be. I email people that are directly involved, i.e. housing and mental health teams, the chairs of the scrutiny committees. I think they need to be involved. One of them has actually blocked me on the email list, infringing my rights. They can't do that. They can treat you as vexatious if they tell you, but they can't block your emails. And the trouble is, they're dealing with me. I know they're being blocked. It's on, I think it's on Black Spider, if I remember the email system they're using. And it's being blocked by that. Because I recognise what the Black Spider notifications are. I've been on the other end putting the notifications on. Hello, Merlin. Merlin, YouTube, Merlin. You little monster. This is the secretive Merlin. Come on. Come on. Little Merlin. I don't know if you can see him. Come on. Oh, out of focus, in focus. Come on. Yeah, you probably can't see him. My little black cat. He adopted me, was it 4 years ago, darling? I think about 4 years ago. He just walked into my place. After spending a few months just meeting me at the door. I've known him for 10 years. But he used to walk up, he used to run up to me when I was coming back from work and walk over to the shops with me. He was like a little puppy more than anything else. And then one day, after being fed on the doorstep for months, and he wouldn't come in, he'd come in as far as the hallway and then go out quickly. And then one day, I gave him some food at the doorstep, and he sort of like looked at the food, and then looked up at me, and then looked down the hall into the kitchen. And he thought, And he just walked past me, down the hallway, into the kitchen, stood facing the kitchen door from inside the kitchen, and then looked at me at the front door, as if saying, come on, bring the food in. And he hasn't left me alone since. 4 years ago that was. Oh, he's such an angel. He has kept me sane for the last 4 years. Anyway, what else is going on? Discovered another few YouTube channels on narrowboating. Sasha, can't remember the title name, but the woman is called Sasha, and it sounds like she's from the West Country, Bristol, or somewhere around that area. And it's similar to this, but on a narrowboat. It's a direct piece to camera most of the time, and it's quite rambly, but it's my sort of rambling. You know, it's almost like I'm sitting there having a one-way conversation with her. It is so nice to find someone else that does videos similar to mine. Except she's probably a bit better looking than I am. Or maybe that's just a bit biased, but... So... And she does she's got a playlist of cereal that her and a friend of hers put together called The Rusty Cutlass. Oh, it is so comical. It is, one person doing all the parts, apart from her friend doing the voice of Little Billy. And it is just so funny. It really is. And dare I say raunchy? She's dressed up as a mermaid. Okay. But next live stream is on Thursday, so I'm going to try and watch out for that one. I've got her on Facebook. It is so down to earth though. I mean, I like Cruising the Cut and Narrowboat Experience and that. And it's all very well done. Very professional. And it's nice, it's relaxing. I mean, I watch Narrowboat Experience for the cat more than anything else. If only CC had a cat, he'd be almost perfect then. Might message him. I think he's more of a dog person anyway, David, on Cruising the Cut. Permanent names of all the people I watch on YouTube are on my about bit on this channel. I'll need to do it on the laptop really, because I need to put links up to the top 3 or 4. But if you search them by what's in the about box, then you will find them. Not sure, I mean, Big Clive's got 500,000, 1 million viewers, I think, subscribers. I think he's the biggest channel that I watch. the biggest, amateur channel. There's semi-professional channels that I watch as well. Curious Droid and things like that have got, proper funding behind them. Pardon me. And proper sponsorship deals. But I do prefer the amateur style. Big Clive, for example. I mean, he's the one that got me interested back in electronics. I've soldered my first clock together. Whoa! And it didn't take that long. It does help when the instructions are in English. It's a bit weird that I had to read the schematic to find out what the components were. There wasn't a component list, which was a bit weird. But I've got it working. I just haven't got the LEDs working properly. I need to desolder them, check all the solder bits on the bottom, which is a bit of a pain. I wish I'd put sockets in there. They didn't come with sockets, you soldered directly. If I'd put sockets in, then I could just take the LEDs off and then check it all. But I think it's a close fit. But I'll try reflowing all the solder, putting more solder down and see if it can get working. Because it is working. I think it's just a connection to the things. I might have cut, because I got my snips through as well from China yesterday. And I might have gone a bit over exuberant with trimming them down. And I've literally shaved them right down to the circuit board. So it's flush. It looks really good. Best bit of soldering that I've done, because I didn't realise you had to clip the ends off. I didn't realise that when I was doing teletext decoder back in the 80s. So that's working. I've had my Iceland delivery, so I've got plenty of food now. I've got a friend coming round. So, thankfully, I can have people round now because I'm single. I can invite people round. So it's just a matter of chilling out now. I've got a small bottles of, Bailey's. It's sort of like the Iceland unbranded version of Bailey's, but hey, that's chilling in the fridge because I like it cold. And it's not that strong, 14%, I thought I read on it. I thought Bailey's was stronger than that. Or is it because they mix it with whiskey? I've suddenly caught on. It's normally mixed with something stronger anyway. You can tell I'm not a drinker. That's about the strongest drink I've had in a fortnight. Anyway, such is life. Anything else happening? Oh yes, I've sent, because my GP hasn't called me back after 5 weeks, and he said he would, I called my GP on Friday, I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday, and I've asked them to get my GP to write to me explaining why he hasn't called back when he said he would. They said he probably hasn't called back because he's written to the mental health team. And that explains why he hasn't called back. Why? Excuse me for living, but I've got autism. And everyone knows this. Since I got diagnosed with this, because I have had this all my life. It's only 9 years ago I got diagnosed that is what I've got. And I thought, oh well, thank you, Dawn, for, putting me through that and getting me assessed. It has helped me mentally, but it hasn't helped me get any due regards from other people. Some people have been cracking with it, but when it comes to official bodies, it's NHS Direct. Only call you up back on a private number. I said, why do you call back on a private number? I had the ambulance crew around here yesterday because I called NHS Direct because I was going through it. Or was it Thursday? I'm losing track of the days. And they tried calling back because my phone blocks private numbers because they give me panic attacks. I don't know, I might have mentioned this before. And it gives me panic attacks. So, I don't mind, I've got clear teeth. Couldn't do it this morning, I've had to charge the toothbrush up. Anyway, so I described my problems. I've had blood pressure of 175 over 101 on Thursday. So I called NHS Direct, didn't know what was going on. They said, okay, we'll have to get a clinician to call you back. I had 12 missed calls from blocked numbers, which then turned out to be NHS Direct. Well, when the bloke called me back the first time, I explained to him that I don't take private numbers. And this bloke, one of the ambulance crew called him Joseph. I don't know if that was his name or he was having a laugh, but he said, I can't talk to you on this number about your medical situation. I need you to unblock your phone so we can call you. And I said, I can't do that. It gives me a panic attack. And he said, well, we are trying to call you, Mr. Gibbons, because, otherwise we'll have to call an ambulance out. And said, well, you call back on a non-private number and you can call me. And then he hung up. Or I hung up. Well, the call ended somewhere anyway. Then the ambulance crew, 3-man job, 1 woman and 2 men, but 3-person job, rang on my bell. So I let him in, explained to him what was going on, and I've got a bathroom full of rubbish. It's all been cleared now, as I mentioned earlier. And I've got a bathroom full of rubbish, and my mental health is being deteriorated because of the council. And the fact that they don't know how to handle people with autism. Bloody obvious. And the fact that I measured my blood pressure and it was 175 over 101. And my doctor got worried last time I saw him when it was 86 and it should have been 81. Or 96 and it should have been 91. Either way, it was a lot higher than when I saw my GP. So they were here, and while they were here, the bloke from NHS Direct called me twice. The first time I put him on speakerphone so the ambulance crew could hear, and they advised me to hang up on him, and I did, because I'm a good boy. I do what people tell me. Well, I do what reasonable people tell me. And then while I was talking to the ambulance crew, he called back again, 2 minutes after the first one. And the ambulance crew took it that time, one of the ambulance crew members. They took it and then hung up and bang. So they've made a note of it, put it on record, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm starting a campaign, and I'm going to have to do another video, a short video, so we can put it on the internet now. I'm starting a campaign to get all private numbers removed. That facility is outdated. It should not be used at all anymore. Partly for the fact that it's akin to blocking your face when you're knocking on someone's door. Like wearing a full face mask, covering your appearance up. But mostly because of the Equalities Act and the rights under the Human Rights Act. You're allowed to know who's calling you. The only excuses I've been given in the last couple of weeks, like the bloke from the NHS Direct, well, we record conversations, so we can't record numbers. Or we can't do it unless it's a private number. And that doesn't make sense. I can record anything on my phone, and I often do. I've even started telling people I'm recording them now. I've been telling them via email that all calls may be recorded for months now. So they haven't got an excuse. The council are fully aware I will be recording their conversation. And so is anyone else. Is that Merlin down there? Yeah, Merlin's down there. So anyone else, they know I'm going to be recording them. So if I can do it on my little phone, I'm sure a PBX can record calls as much as private or public. And the fact is, there's always a bypass number. And my point is, if there's a bypass number, just enable it for all outgoing calls. Because you never know if someone's going to have a panic attack. You can't assume you have been told of everyone that is going to have a panic attack because they get a private number. And public bodies are not there to make people ill. Oh, hello again.
How many episodes?
Hello again. This is 54, I think, if I'm right. I'm losing track of all these diary entries. Anyway, nothing else is happening, so I'm going to try and chill for the rest of the night, thankfully. Now I actually feel clean as well. So until next time, hopefully not until Monday, unless something really disastrous happens tomorrow, I shall love you and leave you. Thank you for watching. Talk to you later.